Hi guys, welcome to a very quick Bitcoin news brief. And it looks like I will be doing this one by myself. We couldn't really coordinate. I am here in Singapore. The time zones are a little off, and I do have to go teach my trading seminar in about an hour. I'm going to go and set up. It starts in about 2 hours. I don't know if the people here in Singapore are watching me right now. Last night did go kind of late for some. So let's see. Everybody better be there on time, guys. You don't have to watch this, but you better be at the seminar on time. So I'm just going to go straight into screen share. I'm going to try and get this done in about 15 to 20 minutes. And let's just get to it. Here's the screen share again. Here's the seminar that's going to take place today. I then have to update this page. The LA seminar is selling out real quick. I gotta see, maybe I can raise this maximum. I really try to keep it to 20 people. I'd like to keep it like small, but the LA one is just way more interest than I expected. And we'll see how New York and Washington go. That would be very interesting. So yeah, so this starts 10 a.m. local time, and right now it's 7 a.m. local time. So no, it's 8 a.m. local time right now, and we're starting in about 2 hours. I want to say a quick thank you to AviPay, who's sponsoring the venue for the event today and took care of the drinks last night. So thank you for that. Let's go straight into news. There's not much news other than season 3 of Billions is coming out. Can't wait to watch that. But this was a very interesting tweet. I think I saw this tweet while I was in between airports yesterday, going from Hong Kong to Singapore, and basically, Coinbase said that they're temporarily halting like transactions and withdrawals because they're too expensive. And then somebody pointed out that Coinbase is basically creating all of this spam on the network because, once again, Coinbase is blatantly incompetent in how they're not batching transactions and how they're not integrating SegWit. And this was pointed out basically to Coinbase that the reason why their transactions are too expensive is because they're responsible for most of the spam. That's also why they a lot of like millions of dollars in Bitcoin is now stuck in their accounts that they can't actually withdraw. That basically goes to the incompetence and the inability of Coinbase engineers to work in the space. Once again, Coinbase remains one of the most incompetent companies we have. This was actually a very interesting thread because whatever this guy pointed out, Brian Armstrong, I think, replied to some of this stuff. But unfortunately, I am blocked from seeing Brian Armstrong's tweets. So I have actually no idea what Brian Armstrong replied with. I think I should click on... it was in here somewhere. When I was like scrolling through the thread, I'm like, well, let's see what Coinbase says, and then whatever it was that Coinbase said. Wait a minute, can I do this? Maybe it was here. Can't really get to it, but here it is, right? So when tweets like this come about, oops, sorry, it's probably going to be unblocked, right? So I have no idea, right? I mean, this is what happens when people block you. So when Brian Armstrong has me blocked, I have no idea what his reply actually was to people pointing out to him how incompetent his company is when it comes to Bitcoin. All right, so that's pretty much my only news, really. I don't really have anything else. I'm going to very quickly glance at a list that I have with just like a few actual Bitcoiners, see if there's anything interesting. Nice. So let's see if there's any news going on. Yeah, I mean, this is what people should be doing, right? Everyone should be running their full nodes, and soon people will be running Lightning nodes. You know, um, this seemed like this seemed interesting. A couple of people pointed it out to me. I haven't really read it yet. Here's why Ethereum and proof of stake are bad ideas. I mean, I've been talking about this. I have no idea what this says. I mean, wow, that's a long Twitter thread. Would have been easier to just write it up in Microsoft Word and post it as an image instead of, like 25 different tweets. But I'm sure whatever this is and whoever this is, um, I'm sure this is accurate because I've been uh, talking crap about proof of stake. Oh, wow. His pinned tweet is me. That's interesting. I did not know that. I actually don't know who this is. Um, oh, so he's clearly a Litecoin fan. So this is the thing, right? Like, I got to read his view on proof of stake. I'm sure his view on proof of stake is that proof of stake is terrible, but yet this person believes in Litecoin. So almost there, almost there. Well, like once you realize that proof of stake is complete nonsense, you then extrapolate further, and you will eventually realize that Litecoin is also nonsense by most of the same metrics, because compared to Bitcoin, Litecoin becomes almost proof of stake, right? Because there's no innovation there, right? All the innovation is happening in Bitcoin, even if Litecoin adopts their innovation faster. So again, I do need to look through that thread. I'm sure it's a very good argument as to why POS is silly, but hopefully one day that person will also realize that Litecoin is silly for similar reasons, though not exactly the same reasons. All right, so let's just get to the price. Um, oh, what is this? Anyway, I'm sure I'm boring you guys. Let's go take a look at the mempool. Let's see what's going on with SegWit. I'm actually not sure. I'm looking at like some questions from the live stream. I'm actually not sure what's involved in running a Lightning node. I'm gonna look into it once I have a little time and once I'm home again. I'm gonna look into running a Lightning node, and we'll see how that is. We'll see how intensive that is. I have no clue. I have no idea at the moment. Um, so SegWit adoption is gonna be slow. Here's the latest mempool. Um, so not too bad, not too bad. Here's my metric. This was down to like 8 megabytes just yesterday, and now it's back to 14. So yeah, so you're back to you spending about 150 satoshis per byte if you want to get your transaction in fairly quickly. All right, let's take a look at the price. The price remains in this weird state. So the weekend is almost over. The weekly is going to flip. So the weekly chart is totally neutral. We're neutral, guys. Like the long-term metrics have not turned bearish yet. They're just like turning neutral, so they can go back into positive territory. The daily is the pretty much the interesting one. So um, it's going to be hard. I mean, the daily, I guess, just flipped. Literally, it's 7 p.m. in New York. That's my daily candles. I really gotta adjust that. I want to adjust it with the CME, though the CME doesn't have much volume, so I'm not even sure if that's the best metric. But we're still in a downtrend, and even though a red 7 will probably be easy to get, a red 8 is going to be kind of difficult to get. So we might end up in another one of these situations where we get to a red 7, and then we get this pop, and we just can't bottom out, right? So if we can't get that 9, if we can't get a good buy point, then we remain in this like weird state where we continue to like build a bigger triangle. Like, can we make a bigger triangle out of this? Well, we kind of almost could, right? um, so at this point I almost have to adjust my triangle higher. I'm trying to think of like looking at like the best way to do that. Like it's not a great triangle. I have 3 points on the bottom. I have 2 points on the top. And once again, we're flirting with the 50-day moving average. So there it is. I mean, I have to adjust my triangle further. We're stuck in this, nowhere land. And right now, I probably would not be trading Bitcoin. Like it's just the daily chart, like because we went up so much. Like it was much easier to call Bitcoin all throughout these moves because they were way smaller and way more stable. Uh, I mean, on any given day, you're moving like $2,000 right now. I mean, it's look, I'm sorry, it's a tough environment, right? I'm a traditional trader, and it's not an environment that I'm used to. So you do the best you can to try and time it. When we broke out, I was looking for a 9. I was looking for a triangle breakout. Everybody was. That clearly did not happen. Um, I'm readjusting this triangle now that we have this top and another low here. Um, and I was hoping that this would go down one more time, give me a buy point, but it didn't. We're on a 7. We're going to flip in the middle of nowhere again. So you're back to these giant no trade zones. Like I would not be trading Bitcoin in this environment right here. I mean, you can try to use the lower level time frames, but that's what we're resorting to at the moment. Like I don't really have much for you right here. You're now stuck under the 50-day moving average, but the 50-day moving average continues to go up quickly. So your price can go up quickly, but it's still now you're fighting resistance when before you were, bouncing off support, and now resistance is starting to mount. So things are not looking all that great for Bitcoin right now, but it's Bitcoin. I mean, it can double in price at any moment. Let's go to the lower level time frame, see if they're useful at all to us. Um, so I'm not even sure the last time I did this video because I had a 24-hour trip to Singapore, but again, I don't know what happened here, right? Like I wasn't looking at the news. I was probably on the airplane, right? I'm not sure when this happened. This was on the 10th. Oh, no, I was still home for that, right? Like, how do you predict this 4-hour move down from 15,000 down to 13,000, right? It's a $2,000 fall in Bitcoin in 2 hours. I'm sure somebody on Twitter will point to me how they perfectly called this, and that person will probably have about 100 Twitter followers, so nobody really cared when that person said anything about the price move here. But in reality, like how do you predict that, right? Because by my metrics, we should have had a 9 here. We didn't. We started to go up, gives you a buying point, and then boom, crashes down. Again, here, right, you're on an 8, didn't quite get to a 9. I'm not sure what other exchanges had on the 4-hour. Oh, this was the Korea ban. Yeah, I mean, like, you can't really predict it. So you just got to have a good stop loss. And the Korea ban was total FUD because there is no Korea ban, right? So this is a reversal candle after this move up. This was a 9 candle for most of its life, giving you a 9 on the 4-hour. I think one of my clients pointed it out in one of our group chats that there was a 9 on the 4-hour. So, but this 9 didn't hold. I wonder if it held on other exchanges. Let me see what Bitstamp has. I don't have one price of Bitcoin to work with, and that's potentially the problem. Nope, same thing on Bitstamp and I don't know, Coinbase or GDAX. TUSD Coinbase. Yeah, so none of them gave me a 9, so that's fine. I'm gonna go back to Bitfinex only because that's where my annotations are, right? Like otherwise I lose the annotations. Yeah, so this was a 9 when the candle started, when it was up here. So is this a 1 to 4 candle pullback then higher, assuming this was a 9, or is it not? I don't know. I really don't. Again, the 4-hour chart is a no trade for me. The daily chart is a no trade for me. I'm basically in fully in no trades right now. Let's see what the hourly chart has. The hourly chart hasn't had any nines in a while. Oh no, there was one right here. Sorry. So we had a 9 on a daily, so we can use this to guide us a little bit, right? So this 9 kicked off a countdown, and this countdown is on a 6. So let's see if this countdown can get us to a 13, and then maybe that would be an exit for a bullish trade. But again, even this 9 was a tough trade, right? Because the entry into this trade would have been up here, where at about the price of 13,850, and then the price immediately fell down to 13,000, like 500, right? So again, a rough trading environment. I would take it easy on Bitcoin right now. It's just things are not clear at all, at all. So this is probably a pretty crappy update, but hey, I'm calling them like I see them. Like when things are clear, I'll call it. And to be honest, it was pretty clear to me over here as we broke out, as we broke out above this 9. It was pretty clear to me that we're going higher, and that didn't work out. You know, so you got to set your stop losses. I mean, this short trade would have worked out, but again, there was no clean exit because you never got that 9. So your stop loss would have been hit, or you could have been happy with your gains on this big fall. Other than that, there's just not much clarity in the markets right now. I'm sure there'll be a much better trading environment in the near future. I'm looking at the live chat. If you guys want to throw a question in here, I'm in Singapore, guys. I'm doing my trading seminar. Um, I'm doing my trading seminar in about an hour and a half. I also have a question. How does a whale sell off such large blocks all the time? Why isn't there a limit to the size of any one sell order? No way of a surprise. That who's gonna put a limit, right? I mean, you got to think of a free market, right? I mean, if an exchange puts a limit on a whale sells and buys, why would a whale trade on that exchange, right? So the only way to have a limit is if you force every exchange to have a limit. But then you need regulation, and then you need every exchange to comply with that regulation, right? So again, do you guys want no regulation, or do you guys want complete regulation? So I mean, you choose, right? No, so someone says the chart looks identical to the beginning of 2014. It doesn't to me. It doesn't to me because in the beginning of 2014, first of all, Mt. Gox had collapsed, so there were serious problems. Like if Bitfinex collapses, I mean, then we can talk about similarities. The other thing in 2014 was that like altcoins weren't 80% of the market, and altcoins are just complete and utter scams. So we can't possibly have a bubble in Bitcoin with scam coins like Ripple being at current valuations. It just doesn't work that way, right? So if Bitcoin goes into a giant bear market, what does that mean? Does that mean that scam coins are going to go up in value? And what kind of environment is that? Like, it just makes no sense. That's not how things work. Um, so I don't see it. If um, if Bitcoin was at current valuation, but but Bitcoin was like 95, 98% of total coin market cap, then I would agree with you. Then yes, Bitcoin would probably be in a bubble right now. But because of totally useless tokens like Ethereum and Ripple and everything else in that top 10 being worth so much money, that rotation is going to happen back into Bitcoin because those coins are, like I said, they have no utility. They have absolutely no function other than outright speculation. Bitcoin is at least useful. Now, you may not like it. You may think it's too expensive for you. You may think it's too slow for you. You may think it's not anonymous for you, but it's the only one with any kind of innovation in it. So That's how it's going to stay. What impact on the price? Oh yeah, wait. Well, I'm not reading questions that involve altcoins, guys. Stop trying to get me to pump the bag that you're holding by mentioning it. What impact on the price of Bitcoin will implementation of the use of Lightning Network have? It should have a huge impact, right? Because um, transactions will be cheaper, transactions will be faster. All of the things that people, all of the bullshit that people are spreading about Bitcoin so that they can pump the altcoins that they're holding, they will not be able to, talk people into why Bitcoin is crap. Their arguments won't hold once Lightning is fully activated. Yeah, again, like if I've never heard of the altcoin or the project, why would I mention it? Um, could the um, again, if I've never heard of your altcoin, like I'm not going to mention it, guys. Stop trying to get me to mention altcoins. It's just a waste of everyone's time. Um, well, I document my hair growth process. Yes, but I've been too busy to actually start that process. But I should. I got to get some moderators in here, and these moderators will basically start banning people that are um, just spamming this. I mean, it's hard for me to read questions that everyone is talking, trying to pump their altcoin in here. The Proton VPN. I mean, I have two VPNs right now. I have Tor Guard, and I have Proton VPN because I use Proton Mail. so so I just like support Proton Mail, and with by paying for the Proton Mail Pro and Proton VPN. But I'm using TorGuard, and that's why I have the discount code for you guys, 50% off if you use the affiliate codes. Um, oh yeah, affiliate codes. That's all right. I'm not going to pull up the graphic, but yeah, I have a bunch of affiliate codes in the description of the video. Um, I don't really. Yeah, Monero is an altcoin that I tolerate. I just don't have the time to look at Monero or Litecoin right now. Another video, guys. Um, let's see if there's anything else interesting in the chat. You see that SegWit was necessary to begin Lightning because SegWit fixed a malleability bug that was preventing Lightning. So how fast will Lightning channels and how safe will they be? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the progress is being made, and the progress is being made fairly quickly. All right, guys. On this note, let me. I'll turn on my video for a minute. So once again, coming to you live from Singapore. I have my trading course coming up in about an hour and a half. And tomorrow I'm off on that blockchain cruise. So I don't know if I'll be streaming from the cruise. I don't know if there's internet on the cruise or internet strong enough to stream any video. So I might be away till like Thursday, right? So I mean, the cruise is 4 days. I'll try and bring you like at this time tomorrow. I'll try and do a traditional market video because like I promised, like one of my New Year's resolutions was to do traditional markets. My other two, well, my others were to exercise, eat healthy. I'm totally failing on both of those. Learn Spanish, haven't started yet, and regrow hair, haven't started that either. All right. So I don't know when I'm going to start those things, but I need to. All right, guys. I'm going to go get ready for my seminar, and I'll see you all on the next one, though I'm not sure when that's going to be. All right. I'll do my best to get it out to you.